So we know that the OTC, the Royal Rumble winner 2026, has challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk. And there's a lot of rumours circulating around that he is going to main event night 2, challenging for the title and win his first world title since losing the undisputed WWE Championship nearly 2 years ago at WrestleMania 40 to Cody Rhodes. So today I'll be giving you 4 opponents that Roman Reigns could face if he wins the World Heavyweight Championship to defend against and prove why he's the Tribal Chief and why he deserves to be on top for possibly the last time in his career. Hope you're going to enjoy this video. Guys, it's been nice to record. Always remember to smash that subscribe button to the Flip It channel, and let's get into this one. So my first choice is the Ring General, the career killer, the man who retired Goldberg, the Never Seen 17 John Cena, and the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, in the space of a year, Gunther. I think Gunther's a great choice, we've not seen Gunther Roman yet, and it would be interesting, the promo battles, I know Gunther isn't the greatest, but Roman could really help him, and this could be some big character development. Already being a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion, of course winning it at SummerSlam 2024 against Damian Priest, and reclaiming the title in June last year after losing it at last year's WrestleMania to Jey Uso. Gunther would like another world title reign after having a great end to 2025, of course reclaiming the World Heavyweight Championship, main event in SummerSlam Night 1, retiring Goldberg and John Cena, and now AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble, and being the runner-up in the Royal Rumble to Roman Reigns. We've only ever seen one interaction between these two, which was at the Royal Rumble in January of this year. And these two went face-to-face with Gunther putting the sleep on Roman Reigns, and it really foreshadowed a possible match in the future, where Gunther could say, listen, you put that title online, that's what I want, but if I beat you, you have to retire. Putting Roman Reigns in the awkward position like he was when he was going against John Cena nearly 5 years ago, walking into SummerSlam 2021, when Cena said, if you lose, you have to leave WWE. It was all on Roman to win. And it could be the same this time around, where Roman has to win again to keep his place in WWE and keep his career alive. Because if Gunther would beat him, he'd retire Roman Reigns. And he wants to make Roman Reigns tap like a little bitch. That's one thing it would be. But Gunther-Roman could be a great wrestling match. Gunther could dominate Roman, showing why Roman's age is catching up, nearly coming up to 41 now, and why Gunther deserves to be a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion, and why he's going to be back on top very, very soon. This could happen like a Money in the Bank, a Night of Champions, maybe a Santos main event, maybe even like a, there's so many pay-per-views, maybe even like a Santos main event. There's so many times this could happen, this match, and it's easily a main event match for the championship. But Gunther is definitely an option that should be considered. Next up is main event Jey Uso, the current half of the World Tag Team Champions with his brother Jimmy Uso, the cousin of Roman Reigns. Of course, last year, Jey was the Royal Rumble winner. He walked into WrestleMania 41 and won the World Heavyweight Championship against the man Gunther, of course, we all know. Jey didn't hold it for long, only holding it for just over 50 days and then losing it back to Gunther in June of 2025. And had a really slow 2025 after that. Never really got anything going. Losing 2 world title opportunities. And of course, losing when the title was relinquished by Seth Rollins due to injury. Losing against CM Punk, now the current champion, in November at Santos main event. And has never really got going since, being put back in the tag team division. And now stuck with no storyline really. And just still in the division storyline that's been going on. That Jey has been involved in really since June of last year. So it's just really, really boring for Jey now. But we could see another Jey versus Roman. We've seen it multiple times, of course. We've seen it at Clash of Champions 2020, Hell in a Cell 2020, and SummerSlam 2023, where Roman beat Jey to defend the undisputed WWE Universal Championship by the help of Jimmy Uso. That, of course, foreshadowed their WrestleMania match the next year. But Jey versus Roman, a match that is normally good. SummerSlam 2023 was a bit of a disappointment, but that was really one-off because the ending was so chaotic. But this could be the time where Jey could foreshadow the heel turn. Of course, we've had Jey as a face for over 2.5 years now, after leaving SmackDown and joining the Monday Night Raw roster in September of 2023. Jey could really foreshadow the heel turn, showing why he's selfish and why he might have to be selfish to get the gold back. Of course, he realises he wasn't champion for long and didn't really get his time and his long moment of holding the World Heavyweight Championship and leading Monday Night Raw. So Jey wants to get back on top. And he could do that by taking down his cousin Roman and maybe, possibly, becoming TC2, Tribal Chief 2. And maybe just showing us that when Roman eventually retires, Jey could be the next one to step up to be the next Tribal Chief and be a champion and lead the bloodline into a new era, being the man everyone looks up to and every Samoan looks up to as well and who they want to be like. But yeah, the main thing is it could really show a Jay heel turn. It could really show that Jay might have to be selfish, push his brother away, and push his brother out of the picture, and go for Roman and take down his cousin, because he has to do anything he can to get that World Heavyweight Championship back and lead him on Night Raw, because Jay has had a real stale couple of months and he needs to get back on top. And I wouldn't be against seeing Jay or Roman. It would be beautiful if we saw like a Night of Champions or a Money in the Bank. And if they'll do it, you know, in either Pensacola, Florida, where Roman was born, or of course California, where Jay was born, you know, it's California or Los Angeles, one of them, sorry, I'm mixed up. But possibly where they're born, you know, because it'd be so interesting, because the fans wouldn't know who to back. In the arenas, they love Jay. I know on social media, everyone hates Jey Uso, but in the arenas, they still go nuts for him. So it would be really, really mixed, with Roman not a full face, you know, he's still got that heel character. But Jay, you know, might have switched a little bit by then, and being a bit selfish and changed with the fans just to get his way to possibly beat Roman Reigns. Next up is the badass. Of course, the man who's injured right now with a hernia, but Bron Breakker. This match has been foreshadowed for nearly so many months, probably about 5 months now, since, of course, about SummerSlam of last year. We saw Bron Breakker and Roman Reigns going face-to-face in the Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns rivalry, where, of course, Reigns won 1 and Reed won 1. But Bron Breakker versus Roman Reigns must happen, and it really could happen at SummerSlam this year, and it'd be very interesting. WWE's built up Bron Breakker to be the man, you know, him being the reason why the division has collapsed, him turning on Seth and leading him into another, you know, a different era for himself and leading to a new vision. See what I did there? Even if he is injured, Bron Breakker's going to come back even stronger. He could be back for WrestleMania, where he could settle the beef with Seth Rollins, possibly beating him to show that Seth Rollins, he's the vision of WWE and why he's the long-term main guy. And why he's possibly the next Roman Reigns for WWE. But Roman Reigns could see this, not scared, but he could be a bit, okay, this guy's serious. And Bron Breakker could go up to Roman Reigns and say, listen, that World Heavyweight Championship, I never got my opportunity. I held it after Seth relinquished it last year. And then I didn't even get in the match, you know, I didn't even get in the Battle Royal to determine my place in Santos main event to win the title, which Punk should have never won. So I deserve my opportunity. So I want it against you. Reigns Breakker could be a main event at SummerSlam. Could be main event worthy. Night 1 main event. And it get Breakker a main event, you know. And he's actually one of them that I could really see beating Roman Reigns. I mean that all seriousness. He could beat Roman Reigns. And because if they really want to show why Bron Breakker is the vision and why he is the future of WWE and why he's going to lead it to be the flagship guy and be the man who is going to be the boss, if you get what I mean. Having him beat Roman Reigns would be generational. I know it didn't help Bronson Reed, but that was just for bad booking. But for Bron Breakker, he's a lot bigger name than Bronson Reed. And Bron Breakker is dangerous. And for him to hold that world title on Raw, possibly beating Roman Reigns for it, to show that he's indestructible, so many will be scared of him because he is the badass. And if he can beat Roman Reigns, well, he can beat most people. Because beating Roman Reigns, you know, and Roman Reigns, they consider top 10 of all time. If you beat someone like Roman Reigns, possibly in his final world title reign in his career, it is generational. No one else might ever do that ever again. And Bron Breakker to do it, I wouldn't be against it. I like the guy. I really think he's a good wrestler. And I think he's going to be a multi-time world champion. So Bron Breakker, Roman Reigns for SummerSlam 2026, would not be against it. But for even any other PLE, wouldn't be against it as well. But Breakker Reigns must happen. And the last and obvious choice, the man who Roman Reigns has never been able to beat in his career, even being in the Shield with him, and many, many years then being in rivalry, so many, Seth freaking Rollins. With Seth returning to Elimination Chamber last Saturday to cost Logan Paul and the Vision's chances to go into main event WrestleMania against Drew McIntyre, it is out of the window. And Seth Rollins will not face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, of course. We know that. It's confirmed. Rollins will either face Paul, Theory, or Breakker, in my opinion. And I think Rollins could definitely win. But Rollins reigns. We never got it in Rollins' title reign. It was the plan for WrestleMania 42. Rollins would walk in as the World Heavyweight Champion, with Reigns still being the Rumble winner, to face Rollins in the Night 1 or even Night 2 main event. It was too far away to even think about that. But of course we know Rollins got injured, so that delayed every plan, and Rollins was not back in time to even win the Rumble or win the Chamber to try and face a Punk or Reigns for the championship. So Rollins was ruled out the world title picture for this year's WrestleMania. But it could be a good thing. Because if Reigns beats Punk, if it does happen, and he wins the championship, we could really see Rollins Reigns at SummerSlam. Maybe where Reigns could beat Rollins to finally show why he was the main guy in the Shield and why he was the chosen guy out of all of them. And why Seth Rollins was never actually the one who was chosen. It was always Roman Reigns. Because Roman Reigns is realising that Seth Rollins believes he is the guy, he's the best at the Shield, and Reigns doesn't want to think that. The only problem is Roman Reigns he's never been able to beat Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has always beaten Roman Reigns. The only time Roman Reigns ever got one up at Seth Rollins was on a Monday Night Raw back in 2017. So everyone forgets about that. But if we're talking the big rivalry matches, Seth Rollins has beaten him in every single one. In DQ, pinfall, whatever. Has always beaten him. It's one thing Roman Reigns has never done in his career. In his long, luxurious career, Roman Reigns never got to beat Seth Rollins. And he could change that. He could change that this year. And for the World Heavyweight Championship, it'd make everything so much more serious because Reigns could go into it not being confident because, of course, his track record against Seth Rollins, it means he could be in a big bit of trouble. But having Reigns win would be beautiful. It would be a great bit of storytelling. Of course, nearly 14 years on since the Shield debuted. It would be a beautiful, beautiful thing if they were to do that and have Reigns finally beat Rollins and show why Roman Reigns is the real tribal chief and show why, even if Rollins betrayed the Shield and put the chair in the back of Roman Reigns, why Roman Reigns was always going to come out on top because he is the old TC. And before we end the video, I know a lot of people are going to say, where's CM Punk? Why not mention CM Punk? In my opinion, after WrestleMania, I think CM Punk should move to SmackDown. I think he should go for the undisputed WWE title to give it some relevance. Because recently, in the last couple of months, it has heated up a little bit. But the WWE title picture has been very stale with only Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. And now they're having to push people like Trick Williams into the main event and Javon Evans, who is a Monday Night Raw superstar, when they are nowhere near ready. And still push Sami Zayn, even when he's never going to win a world title, if we're being really realistic. But thank you for watching, and do you agree? If you don't, comment down below. I'd love to hear it. But thank you for watching. I'll see you little day faces soon. Goodbye, guys.